because you're just getting started with this, this push. You're starting new educations, new things like that. And then what's going to happen with that? How is it going to be assimilated?
Right.
So I think that's what we're going to work on today with this.
Okay.
And so what I'd like you to do now, Cindy, is take a moment. And we're going to relax. I'd like you to, you did it. You're already doing what I wanted. That big breath is just what I was about to ask for. Just let it out. Give me another one. We're hanging on to a lot. We're finishing up this course, and you're starting a bunch of others. You've got some focus on where you're going. You've got some nice themes with what you have. Medicine. That's nice. And with that, there's a lot of options as to what you can do. You've got some ideas, some intuitional feelings, but maybe it's not quite the full, clear plan yet. It's because you don't have all your pieces. You're starting another class here in 20 minutes. Where's that going to take you? How will you be able to get that and assimilate it and link it to the other pieces that you already have built? What I'd like you to do, Cindy, is take a moment and we're going to go look at your timeline. What I'd like you to do is ground yourself into the present. Literally this here, this moment, this second. And from here, look back. Look back to where medicine became your interest. Look back to some of those first actions that you took. Look back to when you noticed that the medicine felt right. Look back at some of these experiences of education and where you really started to learn about what this knowledge can do. And look back and see some of those first experiences of how you got to apply your knowledge. Feel how good it feels. And look and see and feel of how much you really do know right now at this moment, because you're back in the present, sitting in your chair, and you've already got a lot under your belt. Acknowledge it and appreciate it, all that you've done to get where you are. Now we're going to look back at the timeline. And you're going to look into the future. Remember, we're here right now, but look 1 year into the future. Step into that. See where it takes you. You got your career, business, things, vocation. What are you doing? How do you operate? What is your daily routine? Hands-on, out in the field, behind the computer. meetings, personal work time, planning. When's your coffee break? And you're dealing with your vocation. It's a year from now. You're interacting with how your time goes. And now, somebody you work with has their child with them. And this kid is 5 years old. And you get introduced. Their name is Taylor. What are you going to tell Taylor about what you do? Because Taylor's very curious and wants to know. So excited to see you and meet you. And Cindy, give me a nod if you're done talking to Taylor. Okay. So now, as you're interacting through your day, a year from now, you've had time to work on this, you work on that, you've identified how it feels. Who are your customers? Who do you serve? Because maybe you're at a point where you're not interacting with them, but maybe you are. And at the end of the day, Cindy, at the end of the day, what does outrageous success look like? That day had value. What were those things that took place that made that day one for the books? And now, as you finish up the day and you have reviewed your successful encounter, what are your next steps? Is your goal still leading you where you need to be? Are you staying aligned with your values and your vision? And you evaluate, you make sure. Is it time to pivot? No, stay the course. All right. You're ready for either. Because you're mindful of where you're at and where you've been and where you're going. Now, Cindy, I'd like you to step into this version of you. And that version of you has experienced and encountered and thought of all these ideas to make them successful. They now know what it is. Bring that back with you as you come into the present, and I will count you into your space. 5, 4, feel yourself more into your seat. 3, 2, you can wiggle around and move. And 1, come on back. You've got 4 minutes.
Oh my God, can I take you with me? The way you did that was so amazing because like you took me into and you made me think and you touched on all these things that I really needed to like think about and imagine. And like, I wish I would have recorded this because I could have listened to you again. Like, oh gosh, you did an amazing job. That was wonderful. And then you took me back at the beginning, and I imagined and realized all the things. And when you brought me to like, and realized now you have all of that education, all that experience, I was like, oh my gosh, like this big light came around me. And I was like, wow, I really do. And I feel that I would be cheating people if I didn't express and educate and teach and stuff. So you did an amazing job. I loved it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. That just makes my day to hear.
Like, you were very thoughtful on how you were having me vision things too. I was like, I just wish I would have recorded you. Oh my gosh, you did amazing.